I'm not the leader of the Republican Party. Don't want to be the leader of the Republican Party. These people think that they can discredit the Republican Party by making me the head of it. All they're doing is elevating me. It's silly for them to keep talking about how I'm the leader of anything. It's just creating more curiosity about me. 21 years more popular than ever. Lord, thank you for my enemies.
It is vintage Rush. Provocative.
Barack Obama has the inside track on becoming the worst president in the nation's history.
Outspoken.
It's the Democrats who've always politicized war.
Always making headlines.
Obama gives speeches trashing his own country. And he gets a prize for it. This is a greater embarrassment than losing the Olympics bid was.
Usually for his political attacks.
I want Barack Obama to fail.
But sometimes it's been his personal life. Married and divorced 3 times, in 2001 he lost his hearing and now wears cochlear implants. He publicly struggled with an addiction to prescription painkillers and went through rehab.
Following this broadcast, I will check myself into a treatment center for the next 30 days.
But these days, Rush is happily dating, has lost 85 pounds, and oh, by the way, he recently signed a new contract reported to be worth $400 million. It's good to be Rush.
I'm 58 now, and I can tell you that every year has been better than the year before. I've never been happier than I am right now.
But the road to success wasn't easy. Raised in a small town in Missouri, the son of a prominent family of lawyers and judges, Rush did not fit in.
I started being interested in radio when I was 8 years old because I hated school. 2nd grade, whatever it was, I despised it. It was prison. I wanted to be like that guy. I wanted to be the guy on the radio having fun.
His father didn't approve, forced him to go to college. After a year, Rush dropped out and then bounced from job to job.
I got fired 7 or 8 times. I've lost count.
Finally, in 1988, he got his break. And ever since, it's been the world according to Rush. 3 hours a day, holding forth.
I am the all-knowing, all-caring, all-seeing Maharishi.
Taking on liberals.
Their agenda's damaging to the country.
Mocking feminists.
For all of these years, the feminazis have been beating up women in this country.
And reporters.
Journalism is dead as we've known it.
Of course, these days his favorite target is the President of the United States.
America will once again succeed when Obama admits his policies and his arrogance have failed.
Beyond politics, were you moved in any way to see an African-American elected president?
Yeah, but I got over it very quickly. I mean, he's president of the United States. His skin color doesn't matter to me. His policies are what matter. The idea that we've had a very historic thing was wonderful when it happened, absolutely. But I'll be honest with you, I predicted to you it was going to exacerbate racial problems, and it has. Any criticism of President Obama is going to be said to be oriented in racism. And if you don't like his health care bill, it's racist. You know, and I opposed when Clinton and Hillary were trying to do it, and they aren't black. And it's all about ideas. I think these are dark days for the country. I think his economic policies are, I think he is shepherding the decline. He's not observing it.
Is there anything good he's done?
Maybe. I can't think of it, but let's see.
Anything good you would say about him?
Got a great voice. Great, great voice. Reads a teleprompter like no one I've ever seen read a teleprompter. I am dazzled by that.
You caused a firestorm before he was even inaugurated by saying the 4 words.
I hope he fails.
Right. And then just recently, again, when you were gloating that Chicago didn't get the Olympics.
Oh man, the worst day of Obama's presidency, folks. The ego has landed.
Your critics, here we go.
Yeah, my critics.
Your critics
who are impotent and powerless, yet they can. It's like shooting a battleship with BBs, but go ahead. Tell me what they say.
Your critics say it's unpatriotic.
Oh, it's quite the opposite.
Because?
Trust me, Jamie, every one of these critics knew and knows exactly what I meant. They are taking this as yet another opportunity to say, whoa, Limbaugh wants America to fail. And that's such BS. I want this country to succeed, and it won't happen if he succeeds with his agenda. So perhaps a more politically correct way to say this: I want health care under Obama to fail. I don't want Obama owning automobile companies. I don't want him running Wall Street and setting compensation levels.
Then why don't you say it that way? Is it for ratings?
I just did.
I know, but
I do every day. I say it every day. When I now say I hope he fails, is to tweak the media. I know how to do it. I know how to yank their chain. I know how to send them into insanity. I know how to make them spend the next 2 days talking about me. Ticket.
Rush's brand of satire also keeps everyone talking. Parodies like this one of liberal Congressman Barney Frank, who also happens to be gay. And this one about race and candidate Barack Obama.
Barack, the magic Negro, lives in D.C.
Rush says it was inspired by a column in the LA Times, written by an African American. Critics say they are offensive. Rush is unrepentant. You know it's going to elicit a strong reaction. And you know...
Would you ask anybody who writes for Saturday Night Live these questions?
When your critics say these things are racist or they're homophobic...
They're none of that.
Are you a racist?
No. Are you?
Are you a homophobic?
No. Are you?
No.
Well, good. Then we're both clear.
Do you think you ever cross a line?
Do I think I ever cross a line? Yeah, probably. Look, 15 hours a week, no script, no guests, some phone calls thrown in. Anybody does that is going to say some things. Oh, wish I hadn't said it. But you just come back and apologize for it.
But these days, some of Rush's biggest critics are other Republicans. Someone recently called you kryptonite for the Republican Party. That if Rush Limbaugh defines the Republican Party and politics, moderate Republicans say they will never be able to attract the moderates, the independents, the women to win national elections.
Well, look.
They are saying you are ruining the Republican Party. Okay, your turn.
Oh, you're through. The Republican Party nominated the ideal, the perfect Mr. Republican candidate in 2008, John McCain. He was the guy that was going to go get the moderates. He was going to get the independents. He was going to walk across the aisle. He could work with the Democrats. The Republicans got shellacked. The Republican Party is not a party of liberal, independent moderates. The Republican Party wins when it is unabashedly conservative. And it's going to continue to lose. It's going to continue to lose until it realizes that. You
do scare Republican politicians. I mean, GOP Party Chairman Michael Steele, at his peril, he criticized you. He said you were just an entertainer, and he said you were incendiary and divisive.
That's right.
You went after him.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone apologize quite so quickly.
Well, you know, you'd have to ask him why I apologized, but the reason I went after him is not because he said those things about me, it's because he's off message. Michael Steele should be out there raising money and planning on ways to get people to vote for Republicans.
Should a radio talk show host have that much power? Is that a good thing?
Well, again, I would dispute that there's that much power in it. But I'll accept the premise of your question in order to give you an answer. Should a talk show host have that kind of power? I believe in the free market. And if the free market creates that, with my participation in it, then it is what it is.
I hate to ruin your reputation, but off camera, you are polite. You are courteous. You have old-fashioned manners.
Absolutely, Jamie.
What happens when that microphone goes on?
I am the same guy.
Our president, Barack Hussein Obama.
You know, I'm one of the most fun-loving, outgoing guys, and I'm not an actor.
How much of what you say is entertainment, and how much do you believe?
Well, I believe everything, but there's satire. One thing I do that you won't find anywhere else in the media, I combine two different elements: satire, irreverent humor, with serious commentary. I go back and forth within a moment's notice. I'm not controversial. Everybody that listens to me agrees with me.
You're not controversial?
No, I'm not controversial. Bombastic, outrageous. Oh. You know what? I think that's just a factor of political correctness. I do not allow myself to be constrained by people saying, you can't say that. You can't. So I say nothing that's shocking or surprising. It's just nobody else has the courage to say it anymore because they're afraid they're going to offend somebody. I don't have those fears. I'm a communicator. I'm a broadcaster.
No apologies.
No. What? No, of course not.
Very interesting. Certainly worth watching. Everyone can make their own decisions.